Alright, things we're going to need to trim a brisket. First, we're going to need a brisket. Alright. Second, we're going to need a nice, sharp, stiff knife. Something that you can control real easy and won't get away from you. If you have a block of knives, usually it's the one you label utility. Or you don't have to spend a lot of money on this. You can find something like this at your local Walmart or Meijer or box store. So like this nice stiff blade that's very sharp for trimming that we're going to use to trim our brisket. Also, some housekeeping things. You can see I covered my countertop with foil. This is does two things. One, keeps me from putting any kind of bacteria into my counter, even though you can disinfect, and vice versa. The chemicals you use to clean your counter, you don't want that in your food. So this is like somewhat of a protective barrier, or what I call a poor man's stainless steel countertop, even though this is aluminum. Now, also, you want to make sure you're wearing a clean apron, because you don't want blood splatters all into your clothing. And also, if you have household pets, you don't want pet dander and hair getting into your food. So it does a couple things there. And then also, you want to make sure you wash your hands thoroughly, and you never ever want to touch raw meat with your bare hands. This is what I'll put on my hands while I'm working with meat. I never ever want to touch raw meat with my bare hands, and neither should you. Alright, we're going to be getting ready to liberate our brisket from the blister pack. This is what I do. This piece of fat, we're going to be cutting that off anyway, so I'll just cut into it like so. Alright. Now that we got it opened up, let's take my paper towel, start blotting off that liquid. If the brisket's big enough, this is what I do. See how I folded it over? And you can get away with that with a prime. This is a prime. Maybe I need to do a video on how to pick a brisket. And so once I have it out, I'm a paper towel, blotting up all that liquid. This one didn't have very much in it, but keep my paper towel here. See that? We want to get that. Like that. It'll run underneath the foil and everything. So, okay. There we go. As I stated before, this is going to be the first thing to go right here, this piece of fat. All fat, and I do save this. So I said it's great for making sausage and everything. All right, now on the other side, just real quick recap here. This piece of meat is comprised of two muscles. You got the what's referred to as a point, and this part of the meat is our flat. All right, now I'm gonna do this right here. I'm gonna get in there and cut that out, and this is between here, and you'll see how the fat runs right here. That's the fat tissue that's separating the two muscles. I'm not gonna get in there too deep, but this stuff is so hard it's not gonna render, so we're gonna get rid of it, or some of it. I'm doing this backwards. I'm only doing it facing me. Basically all I do is go into a circle just like I did on the top. You don't want to get in there too deep because then you're going to start pulling meat out of there, and you want to keep the meat. Let's say this is adult education. Choose what you want to keep and use what you want to use. Put in your mental toolbox. You don't want to get too crazy with this, because the whole point of it, we're going to do a nice low and slow cook. We want the fat tissue to break down, and that's what tenderizes the meat and make the meat nice and tender. So you need to plan ahead if you're going to be cooking a brisket. This is something you don't wait till the last minute and say, yeah, I think I'm going to do a brisket, and it ain't going to be done in 20 minutes. Now, what I'm doing right here is removing what's referred to as the silver skin. So that's why you need a good knife that you can, sharp knife that you can control. And basically I just pull up the tissue, get up underneath it, but I don't want to lose the meat. Why are you doing this? So my seasoning can penetrate the meat. This is almost like the similar to on spare ribs, people pull that membrane off. I don't go overly crazy with this, but I do if it's quite a bit like this. I'm gonna go ahead and get it off. Wow, this stuff's still stuck to my glove. All right. Just take your time. Usually it comes off a lot easier than this. We're gonna work with it. Like I said, this is I'm gonna get too overly crazy with that. Right, there's that. Now, the fat cap. You see how thick that is. It's up to you how you want to handle that. Most people do trim it off and try to keep a nice protective barrier. I'm not gonna go too crazy. I will this big hunk right here. Alright, so be careful where your hands are. Just trying to even out that fat cap a little bit. I got in a little deep right here. That's gonna happen. Not gonna hurt anything. Alright. Like I said, not gonna go too crazy with this, but because this side's gonna be facing towards where the heat's coming from in my cooker. That's how you know how to place your meat in your cooker. Do you cook fat cap up or fat cap down? I'll cook it from, depending on how your cooker is, I'll cook it where the heat's coming from. The heat's coming, like if I have my brisket in my cooker, and my heat's coming from the bottom, fat cap down. My cooker generates heat in a way where the heat's rolling over and coming down. I will flip the brisket over and cook fat cap up. Alright, now we're ready for seasoning. You can put whatever you want on your meat. I can offer a couple suggestions. I put together my own Texas rub, if you will, and basically it consists of a 60-40 split of kosher salt and pepper, with a little a smidge of garlic and a smidge of paprika. The paprika is for color. I love to have that element in there as far as the color. Now, my personal rub is what's referred to as a complex rub because it has a multiple herbs and spices that comprise the rub. So, first order of business here. Like I said, you can make up your own all-purpose rub. Most people refer to it as SPG, salt, pepper, garlic. In my case, it's seasoned salt, garlic, and whatever else I decide to put on there. So today, as far as the brisket go, we're gonna go hit it with some seasoned salt. Why ain't you using your all-purpose rub? I could, but today it's just like, why don't you wear certain clothes? This is what I'm feeling. I'm doing this because this is what I'm feeling today. All right, a little garlic. You said a little, yeah. I love garlic. All right, now we're ready for the binder. Binder can be anything wet. You can just use water if you want. All we want is something to be able to make our rub stick to the meat. So I'm gonna work this in there. This allows me to get the seasoning on the edges. I'm not wasting a bunch of seasoning trying to rotate this thing. I personally don't worry about seasoning the fat cap. Why not, Jim? For the simple fact, it's a fat cap, meaning it's not going to allow my seasoning to get to the meat. So why waste it? I spent all this time getting silver skin off the top. Why would I waste my seasoning on the fat cap? I don't. You can do what you like. Alright, now we're ready for the rub. And I'm gonna go Texas today. Look at that. Look at those salt granules. Yeah, look at that. That's awesome. Incredible. Yeah, open that up, see some of that in there. Nice. Yeah, we were in Texas today. Now, what we'll do for color is coat a little dusting of my rib and brisket rub here, strictly for color. This ain't doing nothing but giving it a little color, just a little bit. All right, then I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of this Montreal steak seasoning. Look at that. Yes, indeedy. Just gently pat that in there. Now that smells, man. I tell you what, it'd be cool if you could smell this. Call it Aroma TV. Man, this smells awesome. All right, she's ready for the smoker.